So, how much money do you actually need? I mean, it's a question that can cause a ton of stress, right? We're constantly told to aim higher, to want more. But honestly, how many of us ever stop and ask, what does enough even look like for a truly peaceful life? Well, in this explainer, we're going to try and find that answer together.
I just love this quote from Ravi Venkatesan. It perfectly frames what we're talking about today. Money is just like salt. If you have too little, life is a real struggle. But if you're just chasing more and more and more, you become a slave to it. The goal isn't just about piling it up, it's about finding that perfect balance.
So let's just be really clear from the get-go. This is not about how to get rich, or buy a luxury car, or create some kind of perfect Instagram life. Nope, this is about something way more valuable, achieving financial peace. You know, the kind of money that actually lets you sleep soundly at night?
Okay, first up, let's totally reframe this whole conversation. We've got to cut through all the noise to figure out what financial well-being really means. So I'm going to ask it again, but I want you to really, truly think about it for a second. What's your number? What does financial security actually look and feel like for you?
For a lot of people, the answer that pops into their head is a big round number, like 1 crore. Or maybe it's not a number at all, it's the symbols, the fancy car, the huge house. But are those the right targets to be aiming for? Or are they just kind of distracting us from a much simpler truth?
All right, next up, let's just completely tear down one of the biggest myths about money. One that, let's be honest, most of us have been taught to believe our entire lives.
The assumption, it's simple. A bigger salary automatically means less stress and more peace. But is that really true? If we just look around, we can see that's not always how it plays out. Sometimes those high salaries come with crazy high stress, and the big houses come with even bigger monthly payments. So what's really going on?
This right here tells a story we can all probably recognize. So look at Amit on the left. He's earning double what Ramesh earns. On paper, he's the successful one, right? But look at his reality. Almost every rupee he makes is already gone, eaten up by expenses and debt. He has zero safety net. Now look at Ramesh. He's not rich, but he's in control. He has a buffer, a cushion. So when their company announced layoffs, who do you think slept better that night?
And this gets to the absolute core of the whole idea. It's not about how much money you make, it's about the gap, the space between what you earn and what you spend. That margin, that's your breathing room. That's where financial peace lives.
Okay, so if it's not just about earning more, then how in the world do you figure out what enough actually is? Let's get practical and look at some expert-backed methods to actually find your number.
And for this, we're going to turn to one of India's most respected personal finance journalists, Monica Holland. She has spent decades just making sense of money for regular people like us, and she offers 2 really clear ways to think about your financial goals.
Okay, so the first one is called the milestone method. Think of it like a really simple financial health checkup, just to see if you're on the right track for retirement. So by the time you're 40, you should aim to have about 3 times your yearly salary saved up. By 50, it's 6 times, and by 60, 8 times. It's just a super straightforward way to see if you're generally pointing in the right direction.
The second way is the multiplier method, and this one is a bit more personalized. So first, you guess what your yearly expenses might be when you're 60, and you have to remember inflation, meaning prices will be higher. Then you decide your goal. Do you want to use up all your savings? If so, you multiply your annual spending by 18. Do you want to leave a big legacy for your family? Well, then multiply it by 35. A pretty good middle ground is 26, which basically lets you live off your investments and keep most of your original money intact.
But let's be really, really clear about something. Those big retirement numbers are important, but peace starts today. And the absolute foundation of that peace is your emergency fund. Having 6 to 12 months of your essential living expenses saved up in a place you can get to easily, well, that's non-negotiable. It's the financial seatbelt that stops a job loss or a medical problem from turning into a total catastrophe.
So figuring out the destination is one thing, but how do you actually navigate the journey to get there? Let's talk about some simple, timeless rules that just work.
These rules are pretty much the bedrock of good financial health. Live on less than you make, that's rule number 1. Invest your savings, especially in stocks, to beat inflation over time. And think long term. Don't try to be clever and predict what the market's going to do tomorrow. And maybe most importantly, just be patient. Like Ravi Venkatesan says, sometimes the best returns come from just doing nothing and letting your good investments grow.
Oh, this story from Ravi Venkatesan about Warren Buffett is just fantastic. I mean, we are talking about a man worth hundreds of billions of dollars, and he's genuinely proud of his McDonald's discount card. This isn't about being cheap, it's about a mindset. It proves that living within your means isn't a sign of scarcity. It's a principle of value, no matter how much you have. So, let's bring this all home. In our last section, we're going to offer a new, and I think a much more empowering definition of what it actually means to be wealthy.
First thing we have to remember is this. Money is just a tool. That's it. It's a tool to build the life you want, to give you security, to create options for yourself. It is not the finish line. The second we start seeing it as the finish line, we're just going to keep moving the goalposts forever.
So what is enough money really? It's not a number, it's a feeling. It's that point where your financial anxiety starts to go down and your sense of control over your own life starts to go up. It's when you know that an unexpected car repair or a medical bill won't completely derail your life. That is peaceful life money.
So, I'll just leave you with this one question. Forget about the balance in your bank account for just a minute and just ask yourself this. Does your money give you peace? Does it bring you a sense of security? If the answer is yes, then congratulations, because by the only definition that truly matters, you're already rich.